everybody? It's me, PR. I am me with my co-host Leeboy TV. Say what's up to everybody.
Hey, Leeboy TV in the building. We got a hell of a one today. Oh, I'm excited. I can't lie. Look.
We have, I don't know, how old you think she, like 25, 26?
I mean, I don't even want to say what I just thought of because she been on TV like almost that long, man. What you mean? Oh, longer than that.
Man, you just ruined the whole guy.
I'm just saying, this girl got a hell of a look. I said a girl. This accomplished woman. She can be a girl she wants to. I don't know her business. She gonna tell us herself. But she's got a hell of a resume, man. We're gonna get into it. It's crazy.
Yeah, we got Cherie Johnson here from like everything. You probably seen her in like so many things. It's ridiculous. But she's here today. Say what's up to the people.
And if you haven't, shame on you. Go ahead, Cherie. Excuse me.
Hey, and look, I will take girl all day long. I appreciate girl.
Nice.
Hi, thank you for having me, you guys.
Thank you for
no problem. Yeah, it's fine. I might as well just start off with this story.
We're gonna start. We're getting straight to it.
Oh yeah. We
bring in the listeners early. Come on, y'all.
We had two other guests on this podcast that have a similar story to yours, and I'm thinking it's the same event. The Prince story, right? we've had Marcus on, and we've had Angelique on.
Yes, so it's the second.
I want you to tell. I want you to tell your side. Yes.
Yeah, you got to go to her podcast to get the first half of the story, but the second half of the story is the Marcus. And I want to know if you remember Angelique Bates being there from all that.
Yeah, those are the homies.
Okay, yeah.
I was dancing with Marcus Polk. Me and Marcus was actually on the dance floor dancing when he came across the dance floor, and we were like,
I can imagine. Yeah, did he float in or look on a cloud, on a purple cloud?
Okay, so there were all these big guys like in front of him, right? And then we saw this little short man, but he was definitely like just like gliding. And I swear it was like, you know how on Halloween you have the dry ice just is all around the floor?
Yeah.
It was like dry ice was around the dance floor. So he just floated in between four huge dudes.
You know, I don't think we mentioned that we're talking about Prince. This is the night that Prince, Cherie met Prince in the club second time, actually.
Well, it was the second time when he went, "Sup, Cherie?" It was at the Cabana in Hollywood.
And what's crazy is everyone said he was floating with smoke around his feet, so it must have been true.
Yes.
Everyone has the same story. Now, did you take?
I don't know if it was like, no, a picture. No.
Oh, we don't know.
Because people say he disappears from pictures. So I'm just wondering if you have any evidence about that. Like he has this ghost quality where he doesn't remain on film. I don't know.
First of all, it was before camera phones.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we had cell phones, but we didn't have it wasn't camera phone type deal going on. Mm-hmm. But no, I would never even be like so rude to say, Prince, can I get your picture? First of all, I couldn't even get nothing out of my mouth, but
wow.
I wouldn't do that because he was in this element. He was there to have fun too.
And Cherie, I don't know if you know this about me. I was actually on all that, not on the same seasons with Angelique, a couple seasons after, but I spent 3 seasons on that show. So Angelique, that's my buddy. And Marcus Paul, he beat me out of every job coming up. Like he used to kill me, but that's my competitive buddy right there.
I don't watch TV, so I'm guilty of not knowing, but I do know the theme song.
Oh, everybody knows. Yeah. We top 3
as far as song was bumping, baby.
TLC, look.
Is that who's saying it?
Yeah, TLC. And the main rapper is Left Eye. She does the main rap.
Doing the rap, yep.
Which is controversial right now because she's been taken off of some of the episodes, her verse. So, yeah. Make sure she get back on there, y'all. All right.
I don't think it's controversial. I think they had 2 different intros.
You're right, but people
still they had one with the rap, one without the rap. But people are worried about probably, it. Yeah. I understand.
I was saying, I'm worried about it. What? Now it makes so much sense. That theme song was slapping.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yes.
I mean, and since we're on sitcoms or TV shows, which one you want to get into first, man, Prime?
Ooh. You know what? Let's get into, first of all, is it your uncle that put you in the show before we start?
Oh, my uncle did not put me in the show. I mean, ultimately, yes, but that was not his
Okay,
idea.
he wrote the show, right?
My uncle created Punky Brewster.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. And he thought
Okay.
it was a great idea to use my name because when you got a girl named Punky, what's her best friend going to be named? You name her Cherie. Got to be two odd little names. And he gave it to me and said, "Hey, read it. What do you think?" It was my name. Sound like me. In my head, she looked like me. So it was going to be me. So I said,
Okay.
"Cool. When do we go
Okay.
to work?" And he was kind of like, "I go to work, you go to school." I convinced his wife to take me on the audition. And in that process, the first audition, I met this little girl named Soleil Moonfry. And we ended up playing with each other and sitting in the chair together. And 7 auditions later, it was still me and Soleil Moonfry going in for this audition. They let us actually come in together this last time and play in front of the producers. And we played dress up. And we were so excited because we had seen each other and played in the hallway. But now they called us in together. And I was just like, I wanted to see my friend again. And so he was stuck going to work with me every day for 4 years.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
dope story because I mean, obviously, yeah. I was gonna ask you, did your name get you in the door? But it's like it could be part of it. But that is just so awesome that they were using your name, and then your last name was Johnson too on Family Matters. But we'll talk about that as well.
He
But
took elements from my life and wrote it in the script, just like my grandmother Susie in the show was a nurse. My mom is a nurse. So he took
Okay.
elements of Cherie, and that's why I read it and I thought it was me. Soleil and I still laugh now because it's kind of weird. My character and myself parallel so much. I mean, there are differences, but we're so synonymous that it's hard for us to tell the difference between our characters and who we are because our characters have also grown to be. The show was 40 years ago when it started. I'm only 45, so it's really a part of my soul.
I can imagine.
I think we telling lies on this show, but I won't.
Lying, huh? She lying?
I just don't feel like it. I don't know.
We gotta
Like
take
it really,
it.
it really don't feel like it. But
Man,
I've had a job for 40 years.
so what does it look like? Well, you said it was part of your soul, but what is it like to be able to maintain a career for 40 years? Because I checked out after like 10 years. I was like, look, I got to get back to normal life. I want to just be at home.
The normal, it's all I've ever known. I'm thankful that I've been able to not go a year and not work. Longevity has definitely been a blessing. When Family Matters ended, I was like 26 years old. And I actually sat down one day with a newspaper with my mom and was looking at like the jobs. And I said, I can't do any of these. And she said, what do you mean? I was like, well, this is college degree. This says you have to type such and such words a minute. I don't know how to do none of this. The only thing that I could do was phone sex.
Utilizing
okay.
imaginary talent.
I tried. I got fired.
Yeah, fired. What? How did you get? You gotta tell that story. How you get fired?
I did phone sex for 4 days. And my 4th day, I got a caller who kept saying cry. So at first I was like, watching TV. And then I got tired of crying, so I hung up. And then he called back and he called me out of my name. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on this. He said,
Yeah, you can say
cry.
whatever.
Well, he said, cry, bitch. And I was like,
Oh, well.
bitch. So I said, for a minute, and I hung up. And he called back and said, bitch, you keep hanging up on me. I said, fucking cry. What the fuck is wrong with you? Is you crazy? You really want somebody to cry? You like some rapist? So then the phone said, ding, and it got disconnected. They called me back and told me, it was like, operator 3958. The customer's always right. You cannot argue with them. Da-da-da-da-da. Before I know it, I done cussed them out too, and I was fired.
So you couldn't have just not answered that one dude when you see this number, or you don't get the numbers then? Probably.
Oh, you don't get to see the number.
See.
Just like that it's
on your age,
service.
time ain't no color ID. Come on, man.
No, I know that, but I'm saying like I thought before they'll be like, this is number so and so calling. Like they'll tell you the
No,
operator.
you know what? Okay, what's funny? They whisper in your ear what kind of call it is. Like I never got calls for black girls. I got Asian, fetish, pantyhose. Like it'll say that right before the caller comes on. I sucked. I was not good at all. It was like pantyhose, right? And I would take the phone and like go like this. And I'd be like, oh, rubbing it together. Like I was so bad.
Now that I think about it, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand like what's the joy of just
That's
I don't know.
Google. This is like Google in its early stages. You just say what you want and then somebody come on and do it. Like that is amazing.
I never thought we'd be talking about this on this show with her,
No,
but
not
yeah.
NBC's probably not gonna be happy there, but look.
Let's get back to Punky because the reboot is coming out. And you said that, the original really paralleled your life. Obviously you're still Cherie on there. Well, I'm guessing. And so is it just as much as a parallel and how's it been like being back with the cast? I've watched, the trailer and seen a couple of your things with Punky Power. Y'all living it up. Y'all really getting it out there. I'm excited to see it.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited for everybody to see it. Yes, Cherie and I are still a lot alike. There are some major differences, but I am unapologetically me. I am unapologetically Black. I am in a place in my life on the show where I am no longer trying to please everybody else. I'm definitely, I'm in my 40s. I found who I was and I'm living for myself, whether people like it or not.
No, I was gonna say I've seen y'all added people like Freddie Prinze Jr. and Seth Green to the show. How was working with them as far as like bringing them into like a group of people that y'all been together for? You and Soleil at least been together for that long.
Well, Soleil and I have known Seth since we were little kids, so it was amazing to have him on the set. And then Freddie Prinze was actually his first job ever was guest starring on Family Matters.
Okay.
And so it wasn't the first time we had worked together. It was really nice to see him again. I absolutely positively adore him.
Okay.
He's actually hilarious. And so I have issues with him on the show because he is divorcing or going through divorce with my best friend. I adore him too. So he's like part of the family that neither one of us can let go of.
Okay. I like it. Just real quick, I want to say when the actual trailer came out, it was a part of like I don't want to call it the trailer that had every show, like these are the shows coming out.
Mm-hmm.
When it was a part of that and everybody actually seen that this is actually coming back and they actually seen the footage, how was the reaction? Or at least the reaction that you got?
It's been phenomenal. Like people have reached out to us that have grown up with us. And I like to say like friends, right? Because when you're 6 years old and there's people who've grown up with you and they're now in their mid 40s and our lives are still paralleling, I think that Punky and Cherie's characters like really spoke to people, because people saw the mirror image of themselves in these two characters. So to grow up with these people and to still be living the same kind of life, like a lot of these people are going through divorce. A lot of these people are finally learning to say no. A lot of these people are like, you know what? I'm gonna let my hair go natural. I'm gonna stop straightening it and I'm gonna be me unapologetically.
Like you said, I seen some of the reactions from your fans from those days, and they were like, man, that was like the first time I seen a Black girl on TV, and I just felt like I was happy to be represented. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And there was a few before me, Walona was there and D from What's Happening Now. I'm sorry, I'm calling them that stage names. I shouldn't do that, but I'm a fan. Janet Jackson was there. Kim Fields was there, so I'm a fan as well, but there were only a few of us. They didn't let a lot of us have TV time at the same time. So it was a very special time.
Now, speaking of that TV time at the same time, I did see, was it first day back to Saturday? It was like some crazy old NBC special with you and Rudy. And I'm like, And because when I watched it, I thought it was you. I'm like, that ain't Cherie, it's Rudy. Like
Back to next Saturday.
Back to next Saturday. My bad for getting that
That's
off.
okay. We all had one. I mean, it was the 80s. It's okay that you don't remember.
85. That was right before I was here. Look, but yeah, that was so crazy. Like you've been embraced by this industry for a long time. So that's just awesome.
I think a lot of people, when it came to Maxine, I think, did a lot of people, at least in your eyes, did you see the Maxine over Laura thing? In the show, at least.
Like
how a lot of people
want like Maxine over Laura, you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, we know Waldo
I don't think so.
We know Waldo did. Look.
I think there's different flavors for everybody. It wasn't me. It was, Myra. Mm-hmm. She was huge with the guys. Yeah. Laura was huge with the guys. And then Tammy Townsend. Are you kidding me? I was blessed to be on a show with 4 beautiful women. And then Jamie, but she was a baby then. But now she's...
Yeah, Jamie. Shout out to Jamie, too. Well, shout out to everybody. Yeah. Yeah,
so no. It just depends. If they like light skin, long hair, it was me or Myra or Tammy. If they like boobs,
it's all about preferences.
Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna say, in TV show Best Friends, they always gotta do the little who is who, just like Gina and Pam.
I'm a Pam guy, just saying. But yeah, I was, I'm not gonna say my little crush on Family Matters, but yeah, y'all had some joints back then, man. That was.
I kind of want to know.
Come on, it was Myra. Look, I already been told it myself.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I got you. Rest in peace.
But Cherie, I saw recently you put out a post about Waldo dated Laura before you, and you were shocked. Was this a discovery that you found on your podcast?
When my co-host asked about it, my co-host knew. I had no idea.
And this is Cherie.
Kelly remember.
Check out her podcast. Yeah, she's reaching back to. She said Darius McCrary. She's got some great people on there. In fact, I didn't even. Prime, you should have told me about it earlier. I'm hooked now. I'm about to watch all that because we are all about nostalgia. So y'all check it out. If you watch this show, you definitely gonna love Cherie. So
thank you. It's fun.
I was going to we're gonna get back into that like after the break, but I will say the podcast is very good. She's had a lot of guests on there. Yeah. We'll talk about them after, but like, yeah, she's doing a thing. I guess we just give a little tidbit before we go on break. Because I've heard that you had a podcast, and then like I didn't quite check it out. I was like, okay, I'll listen to it, keep putting it off. And then like this just popped up because we did something similar. What does WAP stand for? And the Cherie finds out what WAP stands for. Is the one I was like, this is funny. I'm gonna have to check this out. I don't know why that one, but we had a similar thing, and I was like, okay, this is funny.
It was the day that the song came out. Okay, I'm 45. I don't always know what's going on. And my co-host clowns me often because of it, because he's a little bit younger. His ears are to the street. And, I came up with wireless application protocol or something. You know what it is now.
That's a grown-ass answer right there. Look. What is your favorite moment that people maybe don't know about that happened to you on Family Matters, either on screen or off screen?
I just posted a video of Sean and I dancing
in
one of the episodes, right? Yes. Penn State. A little bit like the June Bug Challenge. So before every show, Sean and our dressing room was right next to each other. We used to play Doo-Doo Brown right before like the curtain call. And we would all meet like in the hallway right in front of our dressing rooms. And we'd be, don't stop, get it. I want. So that's my favorite moments is dancing with Sean right before the show started.
That's a classic song right there too. Look, you can't help but dance when that one come on. Look.
And it was, Sean and I knew that we needed to stop when Brighton McClure started coming out in the hallway, the little boy, because it would be like me and Sean, and then all of a sudden you see Darius, then all of a sudden you see Kelly, and then one day we looked up and Bright was out there like Doodle Brown. We was like, ooh.
Like, oh man, little Brighton. That's funny, man.
Stop playing this because he's getting a little bit older.
Oh, that's actually a great story. That's funny though. That's actually, I was not expecting that part of the story. When you think about Family Matters, what do people like want to say to you the most? What do they like come up with the most? Like, what's your most thing when people talk about Family Matters? The most, most talked about thing.
Maxine, where's Waldo? I hear that every single day.
Okay.
I don't know. Once I figure out they're talking to me, because half the time when they say Maxine, I think they're calling somebody else. That's not my name. They're talking to me. Not sometimes I'd be like, hold on, he's in my pocket. Some people think it's funny, other people don't. But by the time the seventh person asks you that day, I don't know what I'm supposed to say anymore.
So if I'm being if I'm being completely honest, I would say you have that perfect career where you've had all this work, been on TV for so long, but you can still, I'm asking you as well. It seems like you could probably navigate, live as a normal person, and people may see you here or there. How, do you feel blessed to be in the, because I would say, that's the career I would want, right where you are, where you, like I said, you work tons, but you still get to have somewhat of a normal life. Is that been your experience, and how is it?
I love my life. And yes, I think there's a difference between people who do film and people who do TV. Because I've done TV my whole life, people are used to, I'm the homegirl. You know what I'm saying? There's not like, you leave fame for people like Prince, Madonna, Beyonce, they famous. You eat dinner with me, you go to the bathroom listening to my voice. I done been in your house probably your whole life, depending upon how old you are. So seeing people in the street, even if they do recognize you, sometimes it's just a, what's up? And it's like, hey, how you doing, boo? Yeah, I was in the dollar store and this lady walked in the dollar store and she said, oh, what you doing in here? I said, girl, what you doing in here? She said, right. I said, right. And we kept it moving. She had her little card, I had mine. And she had some sponges. I was like, oh, I need to get some sponges too.
That's amazing.
And that was it. I am very appreciative for my life. I'm to the point now where I work when I want to. I don't work when I don't want to. I get to stay home and be mommy. And it's a blessing. It really is.
And it shows on your body. You're glowing. You look young, look great. So, man, just everybody give this young lady her flowers when you see this. All right, get in her comments. Let her know how you feel.
Thank you. It's a blessing.
In her comments, not her DMs. Like, don't be that type of person.
Unless you got a phone sex request, then maybe save that for the DM. Look.
Remember, I wasn't even good at it. I got fired after 4 days. So.
Prime. I think that's a break, bro. What else?
Yeah,
we need before the break. That's full circle.
We got to the break. Yeah, you can take us into the break, Leeboy.
So what we do on the break, at least on the podcast, the audio version, we play a song. So do you have any songs that you would like to hear? It could be either nostalgic, or it could be WAP, it could be something new. What type of, Doodoo Brown would be killer right now, but let us know what you want to hear.
Go ahead, play my man Luke. I want to rock.
Doodoo Brown, I want to rock, I want to rock, I want to rock, I want to. Ooh, I was a clown. I'm ready. Look.
And just imagine, Maxine and Wild Out, we was getting it.
Y'all can check that out on our Instagram, because y'all love me for real.
Yeah, we'll be back after the break. We are back with me, of course. You got Leeboy, and we got the great Cherie Johnson, and we're just chilling. Really, we had a long break, longer than usual.
Hopefully, you got a segment out of that. Look,
yeah.
Don't edit it up though, right, Prime? Edit it up.
Yeah, yeah. I got you. I try. Um, no, I just wanted to say like from the first call, what was the first call, the first increment of like this show is coming back to you?
I found out on social media like everybody
Oh,
else. And I didn't think it was real, honestly. You know, the fans have been talking about how Family Matters has been coming back for like years. They keep being like, oh, yeah, there's a reunion. I don't know. And so when they hit me about Punky Brewster, I was like, I don't know. And then Amy actually hit me, the girl who played Margot, and she was like, is it real? And I was like, I don't think so, dude. And then my uncle hit me, and my uncle said, nobody told you? And I said, no. And he said, so they didn't tell you? I said, no. He started laughing. They had signed a non-disclosure agreement that they couldn't talk about it. And they had been working on it for like 2 or 3 years. And then Soleil came to me and she's like, you mean Uncle David didn't tell you? And I was like, no. She's like, I totally thought he would have told you. She bust out laughing. She's like, I'm so sorry. They made us sign these non-disclosure agreements and we weren't supposed to say anything. So if you want to hold a secret, tell those two, because they ain't gonna tell you nothing. So then she called and my uncle, and they were both like, so will you come back? I was like, is this real? Like, are you really asking me that? Of course. And then the next thing I know, they're calling my agent and negotiating a deal. And then they announced that I was coming back. Okay. So I found out like everybody else.
And one thing about that story I noticed, so she calls your uncle as well?
Yeah, I mean, she was 5 years old when she got the job. I was 6, and that really is like my best friend. This is a 40-year friendship. This is not like fake at all. Us being together, doing scenes together, we don't know that we're working. We are having fun and just enjoying each other. Punky's really special. And you don't know you're working. And honestly, like when it's time to go home at night, Soleil and I are still in the parking lot talking as we're getting in our car, and then we'll get around the corner and the phone will ring and it's her. And I'm happy to answer it. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't get to tell her everything that I was thinking.
As far as Punky and the reboot, when can we expect to see it?
Oh, go get your Peacock app, right? Because you could watch the old shows right now, but February 25th, they are dropping all 10 episodes at the same time. So if you feel like binge watching us, check us out.
Ooh, I like that. When they drop them all, look, you ain't got to wait. Just watch them all. Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all binge that.
I'm actually really excited. I never watch myself on TV. It's like a really uncomfortable thing. But I might just sit down and watch the reboot myself.
Okay. That's another question I could have too, is like back then you had to wait every week for it to come out. Now they just drop them and you can binge them.
Yeah.
I guess the question for both of y'all, how do y'all feel the difference? Is it better to binge, but like now you kind of just ran out of stuff to watch, or do you like the week by week aspect?
For me personally, I don't watch TV at all, ever. Yeah. And so the only thing that I've watched in the past 3 years was Hamilton when it came on Disney Plus and The Good Girls. I stayed up for 2 nights and binge watched both seasons of The Good Girls, and I'm hooked. I can't wait until the 3rd season is completely dropped so I can sit down and binge watch that again.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll just say I love binge watching as well. That's the only way I could probably get through series, through the whole thing, because a lot of times I'll drop off unless it's super interesting. But yeah, I love to binge watch everything right then, get through it and move on to the next. But I also don't watch traditional TV. I don't have cable in my house. I just watch, I have a couple subscriptions, but yeah.
I don't have cable. I have a Fire Stick.
Yep.
Amazon. Well, we got a few Fire Sticks. We got a Fire Stick in every room. But I don't think I've had cable in 4 or 5 years.
It's been like 2-3 years for me too.
I don't miss it. I don't watch TV.
I think you get pretty much everything you want. Like at least for me, like I like a lot of nostalgia shows. So like Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube is like that's it for me.
YouTube got everything.
Yeah, and you just there. So like them 3 things, I'm good.
I'm adding the podcast onto my YouTube watch list for sure. That's an easy watch. I love the nostalgia theme, and you have great guests. Can we ask you who's been one of your favorite guests or guests that people would definitely want to tune in and watch if you were to promote?
Because my guests are amazing. Like I just did an interview with Dawn Robinson from In Vogue.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay.
That was like my fangirl crush. You know what I'm saying? She was my Beyonce. So I was really excited about that. But then Ready for the World was just on my show, and Stevie D from the Force NCs. Big Daddy Kane was on the show.
What?
You know? Mm-hmm. Having Kelly on the show, Shaheem Franklin from Wu-Tang, doing all from Lords of the Underground. I can't pick.
Uncle Luke was on there too.
Who?
Uncle Luke?
Yes, Luke was on the show. Like, it's amazing, and I love it. And the reason why it's called Cherie's World is because I really invite people who were a part of my world. I mean, maybe they didn't know me, but in my head, they were a part of my world. Spinderella is about to be on my show.
I'm gonna just add a couple other people that you had on is you had Angelique on, which is definitely cool. You had Alexis Fields, which is great.
I'm trying to get
yeah, nah, she's great. And you had Darius on, and I will say, since he had that James Brown thing, and you put it like as a segment, I definitely was a must watch. Leon, if you don't know, he played James Brown on American Soul, and
I saw the wig. Look,
yeah, his wig that he had, they had him trending, and then of course they talked about it on the show, which I really loved that. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, because people was hitting me up talking about why your man got a wig on, because they paid him to put it on. Darius is actually the only person who's been on our show twice. And I think since it's the third season, it's only right if we can get him to come back on again.
Yeah, no, he's a cool guy. I like seeing his interviews. I think his DJ Vlad interview was the one I like seen the most of. Like, yeah, that guy's a great guy. It's cool.
He's impressive for sure.
You said what? Say it again. Sorry.
He punked me on the interview. on his Vlad interview, and everybody was hitting me talking about, because they said, I guess if the cast came back, would everybody come back? And then they said, what about Maxine? He said, she ain't got no choice. Come back, she gonna come back.
I thought, he was like, if I say she gonna come back, she gonna
come back. He punked me.
That's funny.
I mean, but if he say I'm gonna come back, but still, he ain't have to tell the world that he punked me like that.
Since you have like I would say you do have your world. Do you have like a guest that you want that the one that you say don't know you but still was a part of your world?
Oh my God. Okay. So can I have met them before, but they still like don't know me?
Yeah.
Sheila E.
Ooh.
I've met Sheila E twice. I talk about fangirl. The first time I was a little girl and she was on Johnny Carson, and my other uncle Tyrone, he really wanted to meet her. So in order to get in the dressing room, he went and bought flowers and took them to her bodyguard, who stood outside of the room, and said that they were from the girls from Punky. And so the bodyguard went in and gave him to Sheila and asked, could the kids come meet her? And that's how he got in the dressing room. But I was like so excited because Prince, Sheila, it goes hand in hand. So I was actually at the gas station and she was pumping gas, and I jumped out the car on accident like an idiot and was like, oh my God, you don't understand. I really appreciate you being nice to me when I was 7 years old. I've loved you my whole life. I was on a really bad date with some dude I shouldn't even have been with. But she came up to the table and said, how do I know you? And of course I started again. When I was 7 years old, I met you at Johnny Carson, and then I jumped out the car at the gas station, and thank you so much for being so nice to me. And I just acted like a fool. She was sweet. She hugged me. She introduced me to her brother and her mother and her father. And I was just like, oh my God, I know who all you guys are. I love you guys. We're such a beautiful family, blah, blah, blah. She was like, okay, baby, take care. So I would love to have her on and not be a blubbering idiot, and to actually be able to have a conversation with her, because I adore Sheila.
Okay.
That is a great part, though, about just being involved in a podcast and then obviously being focused on nostalgia. You get to you have a reason to try to reach out to all these people, like we reached out to you, people that we follow and love. So it's just amazing having those conversations. And I love to reminisce. So kudos to that, man.
Absolutely.
I also will say a little similar to yours, but Moore's Day, I think, would be an interesting one to say the least.
I
Would be
would
very, yeah.
love.
Him and Jerome,
Yeah.
and
That's
at
what
the
I was
same
gonna say.
time,
Jerome
yeah,
gotta come too, though.
that's funny. I guess the last thing I'm going to say before we get out of here is, if we need to have you on and you just talk about your dating stories. I feel like you have like a lot of good and funny dating stories, especially the one that you just.
Look about it. It's called Stupid Guy Diaries. You can download it on Kindle on Amazon. I had to actually stop writing the book because I started feeling like a hoe. Because I was like, wait, how many entries can I put in here? But once you read the book, you'll realize that I'm really not a hoe. I never got a chance to be because people talk too fast. They talk themselves out the draws more than they talk themselves in the draws.
Y'all need to go get that book.
Keep it quiet, fellas. Just say just enough and just get out of there. All right.
I mean, please.
Oh man.
Let everybody know where they can find you on the socials.
All the socials. I am Cherie Johnson 75. If the 75 ain't there, it ain't me, baby.
Hey.
I'm from Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? 1975 Super Bowl year, Mean Joe Green's number. That's me all day.
Nice.
Okay. And you can also find her on the Punky Reboot, February 25th. Peacock. Y'all go get it and watch it and let her know what y'all think. Y'all gotta blow her up with like what y'all thought, because they need a season 2. Yeah, they need a season 2. They gotta be.
We need 8 seasons. That's Soleil and our manifestation, and then hopefully one of the kids will get a spinoff, and then I get to be somebody's grandmama on the show or something like that.
Okay.
Work. Look, connections. Keep it going. Look.
Yeah.
Right? It was my favorite job. Like I said, it's not like working, so I could literally show up every day for the rest of my life with those people.
Okay. Leeboy, let everybody know where they can find you.
Man, you can find me at Leeboy TV pretty much everywhere. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm popping on Facebook now. Look, I done got in a couple Nickelodeon groups. Look, holla at me on there. And then also on LeeboyTV.com. I'm putting everything together there. And then lastly, I put out a new logo, an all swag logo. So y'all go check that out. Get yourself a mask, some t-shirts. All available on my TeePublic store.
You ain't gonna show it off? What you doing?
I'll put it in the clip. My shirt is coming, so it's on the way.
I'm talking about your logo that you physically got on your body.
Oh, it's right here. You can't see it, but I got.
You got long sleeve. Oh,
come on. I got all swag tatted right here.
You got the all swag. And
I can show the Leeboy and Fuzz custom.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got some. Always got something going on.
That's cute.
Yeah, this was the background to my signature character. It was like I had a little puppet. It was like a Sesame Street type thing on all that, except for I was bad as hell and I was always killing the puppet. And like I said, his name was Leroy, but a fan, I'm not gonna call her a fan. Abby's Rad Art created this for me. She customized it, making it Leeboy and Fuzz instead of Leroy. So I'm embracing and taking control in 2021.
Okay. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at KVNG Primetime. Follow the podcast at Prime Nostalgia Pod. And where's the podcast on Twitter, Leeboy?
Nostalgia Pod, bro. I'm ready. This guy be trying to quiz me all the time. Come on, I'm ready.
Okay.
2021 now. 2020's out the door, man.
Okay.
2020 no more.
I'm just making sure. And from me, from Leeboy, from Cherie, I gotta say, prime time is all the time, and we out.
Hey.